We could talk about the fact that many Black Friday deals aren't good deals at all, and throughout Black Friday, false advertising is rife, as are copycat products that are made to look like better made products but are actually made from vastly inferior components and often lack critical metatarsal protection. But forget about that for a moment. You and I are not human, and we are not from Earth. We are merely quietly passing through. On our way, thank God, to somewhere else. Black Friday. What the fuck is this shit?
Buying and selling your history. Where SHOPPING, we're shopping.
Do you ever remember hearing a quote and remembering it as a simple statement of wisdom, like, money can't buy you happiness, or a stitch in time saves nine, or you better go now because we can't trust that the ones at the airport will be clean? Something that you just sort of taken as true and obviously true. And then you hear about the person that the quote came from, and they were also quoted as saying that science tells us to eat more coal, and ended their life in a sanatorium trying to eat their own feet like a snake. And you think, oh, it doesn't erode the logic or the truth or wisdom behind that quote that you liked, but sort of like the opposite of finding out that be excellent to one another came from Adolf Hitler. You could still agree with it, it's still a nice thing to think and say, but what? Maybe some of the things I assumed, without even knowing that I was assuming them, are wrong. If ancient quotables can give us so much wisdom that it's still really valid, but say things like, well, maths could never be taught to a woman, obviously, the world ends right over there, obviously, the gods live on top of that mountain, obviously, then what obviously's are we overlooking today? Something that is clearly insane, but is so ingrained into our culture and society that we can't see how insane it is. Black Friday is a yearly sale of consumer items and widgets that has grown in prominence in recent decades, originating in the US but now occurring elsewhere. The occasionally lethal stampedes for non-essential tickle-me-elmos and TVs and misrepresented home computers are infamous. The charges of blind consumerism go well back. But really, Black Friday is the purest of American holidays. Firstly, because it isn't a holiday. There's no time off. But really, almost every national celebrated holiday in the US is about expression through purchase. Christmas is about toys and gifts. Valentine's Day is about dinner and jewelry. The 4th of July, Thanksgiving, they're about eating and drinking, really spending. People can go to church or on a nice chicken picnic or whatever, but these holidays and the way they're celebrated have been driven by commercial interest. Perhaps then Black Friday and the partaking of it, even if that's just to go to Sweatshop Prime to buy some pork pies on discount, is the patriotic thing to do. For God's sake, the people at John Deere have healthcare now. At least buy a Roomba for the economy. And have kids. Border wars don't fight themselves. What's really weird about Black Friday is that it's kind of sold as companies clearing stock or trying to beat the tax year, or as some other way that makes out that it's a great time to buy things. But the Black Friday of modernity is not that. It's really a con. According to the Wall Street Journal, profit margins are the same on Black Friday as for the rest of the year. One way or another, you're not getting a deal. Some products are made especially for Black Friday and have the sale price built in. Brands produce special models for Black Friday that look like their own high-quality version, but are in fact cheaper doppelgangers, lacking the same warranty, offering fewer interface ports, using the same build as their better, real version, but with cheaper components swapped out. It baffles me that there are people who time their purchases around anything. I've never thought to myself, oh, I'll buy a TV in 7 months. I just buy a TV when I need a TV. I bought a TV fairly recently because I totally missed my wife, and it was around about Black Friday, so I got a good deal, I thought. But then that TV that I bought stopped working after a week, so that had to go back. That was free. Got a new TV, replacement TV. That died after a year. That was not free. So there you go. Anecdotal evidence. Human after all. The mis-selling is easiest to see with computers. Take a look at this sexy number. It's 4K and has very solid state storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM. If you don't know about the computers, this thing is overpriced. Its processor is basic. It would struggle to edit HD, let alone 4K. But the intended buyer isn't someone who knows about computers or what specs they want. They just want a good computer, and they've heard of things like solid-state drives being the future, they see things like this, and, well, it makes sense why it would cost that much, because Black Friday is the time to get a bargain. It's not like there aren't any deals to be had, but the items with the greatest savings are often highly advertised but very poorly stocked. Obviously, the game for Walmart and others isn't providing fantastic value. It's getting people through the doors, paunched to FUPA for the 80% off Mesmatron that they only have 3 of, and selling them as much as possible of anything else. You'd think that would be obvious, but I'm not so sure that's worth saying at this point. It's obviously so culturally ingrained because there are people who queue up for hours and hours to get bargains. And what are the bargains? TVs, vacuum cleaners, headphones, music systems, occasionally a PlayStation 5. I don't really care about getting a bargain, and I could never really get excited about getting 50% off something like a vacuum cleaner, because if I, for some reason, needed a vacuum cleaner to the point where I had to pay 100%, I could live through that. I don't really care about saving money on a vacuum cleaner. It's not really a lot of money, to be honest. How about, as a sale, 50% off houses? Boom, one day, 50% off every house, you'd sell loads of them. But whatever, not my planet, not my problem. Take the handbrake off, and let's get off this shithole. No. You're still in park.